to do it again for the team like he did in the last round. He was not the top qualifier, but he will have a good pick on the start due to that inverted. Let's see if he can do it.
And Josie makes an important point there, Mike, is that just because you're top qualifier doesn't mean you get first pick on the line, not in the pro class.
No, it doesn't. And, you know, we talk about the fact that he qualified, let's see here, qualified 8th, so really he's got 3rd pick. Look where he lines up. He is right in the middle of the grid. So a good starting position for Lincoln Lemieux. Let's see if he can go back-to-back with the round wins.
And that's a little bit of a shift from the previous round where Lemieux lined up further to the outside where he had been most of the day, and he was able to translate that into a shot and a wire-to-wire win.
Yeah, and he actually talked about that. He said, you know, I was on the outside. I thought, well, what the heck, let's see if we can make it work. And he was able to make it work, and he was pretty jubilant about that in winning that last round final. So now he's a little more into the middle. It can get a little dicier in there, but, you know, if you get a good hole shot, you get out front. Boy, I tell you what, pays big for you. There's the 727 sled. Jacob, you're on that Zanstra Motorsport. Artie Cat, boy, coming in as a rookie pro rider this year, doing extremely well. Just fun to watch. Got such a positive attitude. It's like he will say what happened the last round. It was the last round we're worried about today. Aki Palaya right next to him. Then you've got Travis Muller on that 436 ride as you work further to the outside of the grid. A couple of sleds yet to come in. That's your number 1 and 2 qualifiers. And there is the number 200. That is Elias Ischel. Looks like Elias will be way to the outside as you see his sled right there.
And Mike, we know a lot of these pro teams, they have access to practice facilities where the racers can ride. How much of the time do they spend practicing these starts?
They do a lot because, you know, the mechanics are able to get a lot of telemetry off their boxes on their sleds so that they can really, you know, start working on how they want to set the sled up. The thing is that snow conditions and weather changes all the time, and there are so many changes that you can make in a clutch to make it engage and just be so much more dynamic. So, you know, there's a lot of tuning that goes on here at the racetrack. This is interesting because here's your number 2 qualifier right there. That is Kyle Pauline. Pauline again deciding to go way to the inside. I know in the last round racing you asked me why is he snapping the snow down or jumping on his skis to try to get it a little flatter. But he likes that way inside line. He's hoping that Glenn Kafka, who is a genius when it comes to clutching and Polaris, will give him the whole shot that he needs.
You also see on the line there, getting ready to go, Oscar Norm's sled being fired up from the Pinterest Racing Stable. That's the black Polaris with the Pertec logo. And then Logan Christian right there alongside Lincoln Lemieux. Lincoln doing a little body warm-up here. John gets himself loose and limbered up and ready to go.
Logan hoping for a little better results this round than last round. If you remember, he was doing quite well up in the top 4. Made some contact with Oscar Norm, who's right next to him, and Logan unloading from that sled. So hoping for a little bit better outcome today. You see his mechanic back there, Betsy. I'll tell you what, she is good. She knows exactly how to set that sled up, and you can be sure that he's got a good ride underneath him as he gets ready here for this final. 16 laps to let them be racing.
And now they will start to crawl up to the ropes here. They use those to set the starting line to make sure everybody is even, ski to ski, across the front row. And if there would be one dark horse I would think might have a shot at the podium here, that would be Tyler Adams, because Tyler had some good rides earlier in qualifying on the 705. Even though he's coming from the back row, we know anything can happen on one of these starts.
Sure can. I mean, the start is huge. You're in the back row. You've got to get through a little more traffic. We've talked about how from the starting grid to that area up by the Pertec area, how that transition changes such, and it really narrows up. So let's watch them and see what happens here. It's going to be a great start, and this is going to be 16 laps of fun racing with a great field.
All right, so the ropes are being pulled away, and now they'll go ahead and get the sleds fired up here on the line which means we are just a couple of moments away from going under starters orders here at the Amsoil Snocross National, presented by Quick Trip. It comes down to this. This, ladies and gentlemen, is your pro final. And we're under starters orders. The pros take to the track in Canterbury Park. Who will get the stud boy hole shot coming from the outside? It's Elias Ishmael who will have the hole shot, and he's got company trying to come to his inside.
Yeah, on the inside, watching as they all try to work through that part. That's Lincoln Lemieux right behind him on the number 13. Lincoln, if you remember, was on the inside, or rather right about the middle of the starting grid, and was able to kind of shake himself free too. But the Outlaw Norway driver out of Boss Racing establishes himself right away. The last round, he did not get on the podium. He wants to reestablish who's going to be the leader in the points battle here, as he takes and works his way out front.
And Lincoln Lemieux got seriously roosted coming off that skidoo corner. He'll change up lines now as he works behind Elias Ishmael down into the country cat corner. Excellent start to look like for elite Logan Christian, who is now sitting in the third spot.
Now, Logan didn't get a bad shot or start, neither did Aki Palaya. And Kyle Pauline, who was way to the inside on the podium last round, sitting in, I believe, fifth spot, he also got a pretty decent shot. Looked like he was going to get pinched, but was able to work his way back through it. But right now, they're all chasing that number 200. That is Elias Ishmael.
Ishmael blasts through the protect section of the course over the Amsoil finish line jump here. 3 of 16 complete in this pro final. Lemieux trying to give chase as they head through the country cat and Sunoco corners. He's about 3 or 4 lengths behind.
You talked about Logan Christian. He's on the podium right now. There's a lot of racing yet to go. But this is about the way that Logan ran last night. Logan ran extremely strong. He was in the top 3-4 before that incident with Oscar Norm. Let's see if Logie can hold on and get on the podium here today.
And here's the battle further back. This is Kyle Pauline duking it out with Aki Palaya on that XPS Jimmy John skidoo.
That's a battle for 4-5. Pauline sitting in 4th, Palaya in 5th. And it looks like Pauline is going to take and position himself right now to hold on to that position. But you can be sure that Palaya, the big, strong racer that comes from Finland, he'll be knocking on the door again.
And this battle is about 1.2 seconds behind Logan Christian, who has the final podium spot for the moment. And Christian just moved up a spot. He made the move on Lemieux for second.
Well, I tell you what, that's a great move. You know, Logan is racing within himself. I've talked to him a couple of times this weekend. It's like he said, you know, you try to forget what happened in the past and race in the future, but you could tell in the tone of his voice that he wasn't happy with like a 6th place finish. He wasn't happy with the last round finish. He's out. He wants to get on the podium. He wants to establish himself here as somebody that's a contender in the pro class.
And now Lemieux trying for the comeback move through the U.S. Air Force Flyway. He got a better launch into that rhythm section. They'll both take the inside line through the Polaris turn. Let's see if Lemieux can cross him up here. Nope, not close enough.
Logan out in the 2nd spot, still leading Lincoln Lemieux around. I stand corrected. I said that in the last round he got together with Oscar Norma, was actually getting together with Elias Ishmael, which was, pretty frustrating for him. And well, he's looking strong right now.
And Logan Christian on the Christian Brothers Racing Arctic Cat, now solidly into the 2nd position, about 3.5 seconds behind our race leader, Elias Ishmael. Lemieux is 3rd as we look at Ishmael powering out of the Ziegler Cat corner, headed into the skidoo sweeper.
This is the time in the race where, and look who's off! That is Lincoln Lemieux that is off the track.
Lemieux going out of the park over in one of the corners.
Down in the Ziegler corner just before that big sweeping turn.
Let's get a look at it on replay and see what happens here, Mike.
Oh, he just overextends. The sled is a tad bit off axis. Just can't pull himself and his weight back up to get it squared away, and off he went.
He'll get back on, but he is going to be way, way back. Battle for the third position shaping up here is Kyle Pauline now on the Red Bull Levi Lavallee Racing sled has taken that spot and pulling away now from Oscar Norm, who is fourth. Pelaya sits in fifth.
And Pelaya dropping back a spot as Norm got by him. So, there you see, it could be a couple of rounds in a row that Kyle Pauline possibly get on the podium. And, some of these drivers starting to step up. They know that, we're about a quarter of the way, a little bit more than a quarter of the way through the season. You got to start making hay. You got to start putting points in the bank and racing well. That's what Kyle Pauline's doing right now.
So Pauline on the 3-2-4 brings through the Polaris corner. Meanwhile, out of the Skidoo sweeper, that is your race leader, Elias Ischel on the XPS Jimmy John Skidoo, looking to reassert the dominance that he had, ripping off a streak of several pro finals in a row before being unseated last round by Lincoln Lemieux.
Here's the battle again between Aki Pelaya and Oscar Norm. Pelaya sitting in fourth, Norm in fifth. And right behind them is Jacob Bure on that 727 Arctic Cat. But we got some work to do. There's your race leader. Just kind of, going for a ride around the racetrack here. He looks so smooth and so one with the sled.
And Mike, you talk about riders riding within themselves. Is it easier to do that when you're up front versus trying to come through traffic?
Well, very much so, very much so. We always talk about Elias, that, he's the kind of guy that would hit a button and just sometimes overextend and race too hard. As we look back there at the third place sled of Kyle Pauline. Pauline still about 5 seconds ahead of Aki Pelaya for that third position on the podium, and he's about a second and a half behind Logan. So those guys going to probably be doing some battle for that second spot on the podium here before long.
And in the previous round, Kyle Pauline did make a late race charge to bump up a spot onto the podium as he works through the Pertec rhythm section. Logan Christian now about 3 or 4 sled lengths in front of him, and it looks like Logan's going to go inside. Thought Pauline was going to try the alternate line on the outside, but he'll tuck in behind and follow him through.
Yeah, he did, and like I said, they're kind of using both lanes. They'll be inside, then they'll go outside. And here he comes. Here comes Pauline. Pauline's going to duck down underneath. Looked like Logan was able to cover the line, but these two guys are going to have a great race here coming up very, very shortly.
I think coming off of one of those jumps there in that rhythm section, Pauline's sled had a redirect. He almost landed on the back of Logan's sled. He had to check up. He had no choice. He'll try the outside now, side by side. Battle for second.
First to speed down into the corner. Logan able to cover the line, though. You could see that Kyle wanted to go down underneath, too. And, he kind of park checked him a little bit there.
Yeah.
And no harm, no foul. It was a racing move. He just kind of, slid up. Logan got in front of Kyle. Kyle was racing hard. Kyle just kind of had to tap the brake to not hit him, and good racing.
This happening about 3.5 seconds behind race leader Elias Ischel. And there is Elias as he brings that red sled down to the line. Crossing Amsoil finish line here. 3 laps left to go.
Been a good, clean race so far. There you see Kyle. And Kyle is falling back just a bit behind Logan, but he can mount another charge here if he knows he's got a couple of 2-3 laps left to go. There you see him going triple. Then they'll come into the double section through that U.S. Air Force flyaway section, and some lappers coming into play now. And again, like we've talked about, they can either help you or hurt you.
Logan Christian, right alongside Pat there, basically said, I'm going to help you up to the very top here. Give you a little room.
He slid him right up there. And then what he did is he slid in front of him so that, Kyle was going to maybe try that line, but it didn't work. Now they're bar to bar as they go back down into this corner again. And this is where, this time, Kyle's going to stay outside, try to rail it around.
Yeah, last time I think he had a mind to try to jump in ahead and take the lane away from Logan going into the corner. This time, he goes around the outside. He needs to be able to stay with Logan here through the U.S. Air Force flyaway.
These guys got a good race, and they'll race each other clean. Ooh, Kyle tried to go underneath. That didn't work. Logan covered the line, and Logan still holding on to second place.
They're going to come to the white flag, which is already waving for your race leader, Elias Ischel. We'll watch him now as he heads up over the jumps here in the ram section of the course. Back to this battle for second. Wow, they're getting some big air there as they float the gaps. And Pauline trying to cross over here on Logan.
And again, Logan covered the line. He's got to stay down low, though, because that's where Kyle's going to try to sneak around him. Here they go. And Kyle has been a little bit stronger here.
Wow, great side-by-side racing. Oh, a little bobble there for Logan. That might be enough for Pauline to get second.
It does, and now there's a lapper there, too. That's going to... Oh, look at him. Logan trying to go back down underneath.
And down on the bottom right of the screen, Elias Ischel will come through and he will take the win. Here's the battle for the final spots on the podium as they come to the Amsoil finish line. Pauline hangs on, making the last lap pass over Logan Christian. Aki Polaya will finish in fourth. Oscar Norm comes away with a fifth, but returning to the space that he has been most familiar with this season, Elias Ischel is on the top step in your pro final. We'll hear from him when we come back with more Amsoil Championship Snocross on the CBS Sports Network.
Hugging her brother.
So congratulations all the way
Should've been on the
between
podium
our
last
podium
night.
finishers here. Once again, it is Ischel followed by Pauline and Christian as your top three here at the Amsoil Snocross National presented by Quick Trip. Take to the track in Canterbury Park. Who will get the stud boy hole shot coming from the outside? It's Elias Ischel will have the hole shot, and he's got company trying to come to his inside. Lincoln Lemieux got seriously roosted coming off that skidoo corner. He'll change up lines now as he works behind Elias Ischel down into the country cat corner.
Right now, they're all chasing that number 200. That is Elias Ischel.
And Elias Ischel will come through and he will take the win. Here's the battle for the final spots on the podium as they come to the Amsoil finish line.
Elias, a little bit different from the last round. You ended fourth, and tonight you just seemed a lot more determined when you were out there, but you made it look easy. Elaborate on tonight's race.
Yeah, it was so fun out there. The snow was really sticky, and it was really difficult to get the speed up. And yeah, I managed to hold it up, and it was just an awesome race. And I need to thank my whole team for the awesome work they do.
Well, huge congratulations.
So Elias Ischel, this is win number 4 for him out of 6 so far this season. The only people to interrupt his streak were in the previous round, Lincoln Lemieux and Ischel's teammate, Aki
So
Polaya.
let's run through the whole order for people that are following us here. Ischel, your winner. Pauline in second. Christian in third. Aki Polaya in fourth. Oscar Norm, Yerk in sixth. Then Benham, Lemieux in eighth. Whitwer, Muller, Patton, Callan, Tyler Adams, and Cole Coutu in 14th spot. All in all, a very entertaining pro final.
Yeah, great battle down there for second and third, too, on that final lap with Pauline able to make the move on Logan Christian.
So they're starting to move everybody towards the winner's circle. You see Glenn Kafka down there, Levi Lavalle's dad, and all the folks from Lavalle Racing. Pretty happy crew here.
This is
They've
rescheduled
had a
round
couple
2
of good
from
rounds of
Duluth.
racing. Let's introduce to you right now
It's
the
actually
top
being
3
held on
finishers
Sunday
here
at
in the
Canterbury
pro
Park
final.
after rounds
In third
5 and
place from
6.
Fertile, Minnesota, racing for TDS, Country Cat, Artie Cat, Midwest Seed, and Stud Boy. On the number 43 Artie Cat, his name Logan Christian. Your second place finisher going back to back with second place finishes in the last 2 rounds. From Ironwood, Michigan for Team Lavalle, racing for Polaris Red Bull, Walker Evans Racing Shocks, and FXR on the 324 Polaris, Kyle Pauline. And your winner, as Kyle fights his way through the crowd down there. And your winner, again out of Oppdal, Norway, racing for Warner Racing. Sponsored by Skidoo, Jimmy John's XPS, FXR, and Studboy. On the 200 Skidoo, your winner, Elias Ischel. One last time, let's go down to Josie Christian.
Third place, Logan Christian, waiting to get up here kind of all season, had pros and cons, but you made it. Let's talk about your perspective on that battle with Kyle. It was fun to watch.
It was a lot of fun. Kyle and I have raced together since we were in a 10 to 13 class, so racing with him is just kind of how I grew up racing, and he had a couple better lines I think at the end and was able to pursue his lines and kind of got around me, but you know, it was a fun battle. I rode as hard as I could, and I think we got some things to work on over the break, which I'm excited to, but it's nice to get on the podium here again and get that momentum and confidence back up for sure.
Well, happy to have you up here. Who would you like to thank today?
Yeah, I gotta thank the whole team, my mechanics, Betsy, DJ, Carver, Rusty, Kellen, Mom and Dad, the Lord, my Carver, my uncle Stuart, Christian back home, the whole family, all the crowd coming out, all the family, people watching at home, Arctic Cat, Speedworks, Studboy, 100% goggles, Bell helmets, Midwest Seed. Just everybody behind us has been awesome.
Well, a huge congratulations to you. Over in second place, Kyle, let's talk a little bit about being behind Logan for basically that entire race up until that last lap. It seemed like you were trying to go back and forth, trying to decide what lines you could take.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I would make a little run on Logan, and then I'd make a mistake and lose him, and then I'd make a run, and yeah, I mean, it was so much fun racing with him. Logan's always been a super clean racer, and he made me work for it. Like I had to really get creative with my lines to find a way around him, and fortunately I did in the last lap there. But man, what fun that was, and just huge thanks to the team, Team LaValle, Polaris Red Bull, Walker Evans Shocks, FXR, Woody's Traction. Just huge hats off, Glennie, Levi, my parents, my wife Brittany. Just so many thanks. My mechanic Sam. My sports psychologist, Sean, just wow, like so many thanks, and especially to the dear Lord for keeping me safe, and yeah, it feels good to be walking out of here with 2 podiums.
Yeah, it was definitely a good weekend for you. Congratulations. And again, on top of the podium, Elias, let's talk a little bit about that whole shot you got right off the bat and were able to make such a clean getaway.
Yeah, I was way outside in the start, and the whole team have been working also with the sled, the team Boss Racing, and Jamie and Jesse and Dave, and yeah, just Aki and Gary and Max, and just the whole team have been working so hard, and yeah, I could just go from there, and two perfect days this weekend, and just went from there, and yeah, hope for the rest of the season good. And I just want to thank Jim Jones, XPS, Ram Hayes, FXR, Skidoo, Studboy, Senior Skis, Rocks, 139 Design, MKG, and so KIB, Team of Jills, and yeah, everyone back home watching today, because it's today on the day here, everyone can watch from back home in the evening. So yeah, it's just awesome to see everyone watching, and yeah. Just want to my whole family and just all the fans out there too, and yeah.
Well, congratulations. There you have your top 3 for the pro final.
What a fantastic weekend of racing we have had here at Canterbury Park. Once again, the Daytona of Snocross doesn't disappoint.
Yeah, what a great way to wrap up the weekend. And of course, today that makeup race, the Amsoil Snocross National presented by Quick Trip. So now we are back on schedule. And we've got everything made up from the tough weather that we experienced during the first 2 weeks and that. But just all in all, these guys put on a great show. And you look at all the different classes and, you know, see some new people on the podium in different classes. And these pro guys are racing really, really hard and really strong. I mean, we've seen different people on the box. And that was key. It'll be fun to move on to Deadwood and see what they can do on what I call the Bristol Snocross racing.
And that'll be coming up, of course, in a couple of weeks' time. You can keep track of everything at snocross.com, the official website of Amsoil Championship Snocross, powered by Ram. For Josie Christian and Mike Schroeder and the rest of our crew, I'm Paul Small. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your week as we say goodbye from Canterbury Park.
Archipelago.